Here we're sketching a conic section called a hyperbola. We can tell it's a hyperbola because it has a minus in it. Hyperbolas are the only equations that have x squared minus y squared, or in this case, y squared minus x squared. So because it's y squared minus x squared, the graph is going to be opening this way along the positive y-axis. Okay, it's going to be opening up and down along the y-axis rather than horizontally if x were the positive one, in other words. Okay, so the first thing we have to do is identify the center. Okay, it's not really a part of the graph, but the center is the middle of your graph, basically, of course. So the x-coordinate comes from the x part, so over here, positive 4, and the y-coordinate comes from the y part, negative 2. So we're going to put this on our grid at 4 and negative 2. Because this part is important. So now we need to make our box. Okay, so we always make a little box for our hyperbola. It's not a part of the graph. You're never going to see it on Desmos or anything, but we need to make the box for our graph. So in the y direction, we go the square root of 4. The square root of 4 is 2. So we're going to go 2 units up and 2 units down in the y direction. And now we're going to go in the x direction, the square root of 16, because that's the number underneath x. So we're going to go 4 units to the right, and we're going to go 4 units to the left. Okay, and this is how we make our box, using these values. Okay, so we make our box in here. You can make it as narrow or skinny as you want. Okay, and this also now helps us to make your asymptotes. Okay, and it's the asymptotes that we're really going to use. So the box helps you to get your asymptotes. So you draw them through the origin from corner to corner. Okay, so these are the asymptotes for your graph. From corner to corner through that center. These diagonals are your asymptotes. So like I said earlier, because it's a y squared is positive, this is going to be one of your vertices, and this is going to be your other vertices, okay, along the y-axis. Then your graph, let me make it a little bit thicker here so we can tell with all the other garbage I have going on. Your graph is going to hit the vertex and approach your asymptotes. So this one's going to be nice and wide because your asymptotes are pretty wide. Okay, and then the last thing that we need to do is plot your foci. So in this case, your foci come from a squared plus b squared. So 4 plus 16, right? So a is 2 and b is 4. Basically, it's the numbers on the bottom that we're adding together, which is 20. So your foci are the square root of 20, which is probably about 4.5. So from your center, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4.5 units vertically along the y, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4.5 units along your y-axis. Okay, so the foci are always inside of your curves. So if this is an opening up to the y curve, then this is going to be, the foci are going to be in this orientation. So this is your focus, and this is your focus, and this would be your vertex and your vertex. Okay, and that's how you graph a hyperbola, where it's y squared minus x squared.